back to another edition of the Rap and Wrestle podcast. You know me, I'm Derrick Gamble. You can check out Rap and Wrestle on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Rap and Wrestle. Look us up on iTunes, YouTube, all that good stuff, all streaming platforms at Rap and Wrestle. Today, very special day. Got a very special guest with me, someone who's extremely talented, dope vibes all around her. The aura is definitely amazing around this young lady. Emily MC, what's good? Welcome to the studio. I'm so glad to have you on.
DG, thanks for having me.
Definitely. How's everything going with you, man? I know it's busy. I know you keep it moving. You working on music, doing a lot of things. Like how's everything been going for you? I know it's kind of crazy right now, with this whole lockdown and everything. But for you, how's everything going?
Word. The lockdowns are crazy. With everybody going through a lot of the same things. I definitely have my days and my dips, drain and mental, emotional things. And you're doing so much, but it doesn't seem like enough. But with all that said, I feel like I worked even harder this year than I did last year on several things in my life. And that's a big blessing, especially when it comes to music and creative. And yeah, we just been running and gunning. I expanded and was able to hire people to help me out, which is another big blessing, to help the build. And yeah, the first album's coming up. I started working with overseas producers and they really feeling me. And that's really exciting to be played in different countries and hear people talking about you in German and French, and you don't even understand it. And then you hear your name and the name of your song and it's oh shit. So,
dope.
just keeping perspective and, trying to do the at-home workouts and read up and study and, keep that third eye moisturized.
Yeah, definitely. I feel you on that. One thing I know you said, adding a team around you. One thing, I was very impressed, the way, you're setting everything up, getting this to happen, your PR team, just straight up amazing, mad professional. I was truly amazing, impressed. I love the way everything was just set up in a way, everything was just handled, and I just want to give a shout out to your PR for that for sure.
Yes, shout out to Maisha, Asante Works PR. That's what's up. I'm gonna definitely let her know you said that. That's good people. Even more important than her just doing dope work and being such a professional. She's a good person. She got a good spirit, good energy, and really that's the only type of people I want to work with and be around. So I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I was listening to a couple of your tracks. Well, first, the way we kind of got introduced to each other is we follow each other on Instagram. I was seeing your music and just vibing out to your stuff. And I was just yo, this girl's mad dope. I really want to get her on.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. The one song, because it's clear to relate everybody. We all, we went through lockdown, we went through quarantine, coronavirus is messing everything up. The one song I listened to, Dear Corona, you talked about how Corona has affected everybody, loss of jobs, the timing, things in our social lives that were triggered. For you personally, for me, I would say, Corona, the way it's impacted me, it's forced me to be innovative, creative. I created this show during coronavirus. I was working on just a strictly wrestling project. And then I said, hip hop is a big thing to me. Wrestling is a big thing to me. They're so intertwined. It helped me create this. And I'm thankful for it in that one way. But for you, how specifically has, the lockdowns and quarantine and everything, how has that benefited you?
Great question. How has it benefited me is it forced me out of what I knew and what I thought I needed to be doing and reminded me of what it is, what assets I have in myself and what I need to activate, which in the beginning was just devastating. I was super depressed, and that's how Dear Corona, I even wrote the song because I was working 2 jobs and work and also helping run the production studio in Brooklyn. And So I was running and gunning. I was overworking. I wasn't sleeping the best. I wasn't eating the best. And then when I lost the jobs, it was like, damn, what's gonna happen with money and like what's gonna happen. But things kept happening and ways were made, and you know budgets were squeezed to the last drop, and I started working on my music and started putting the pieces together for my first album, and networking with more people, and crossing paths with people who really have been low-key waiting to hear me and waiting for an artist like me, and that's been a huge blessing. So it's like the pathway that was always existing really opened up for me, and I'm very grateful for that as well, teaching me how to now really get on my own too as an independent artist in a time where like so much is fluid. There's independent artists right now doing better than a lot of the majors,
Yeah.
just on how they're moving,
Yeah.
so it really helped me, like, just move me out of the rat race into like, nah, you need to be in your lane, because this is the time for light workers, for builders. This is the time.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. I kind of same way. I got those vibes too. Just you at first you're just like you're scared, but it's like you just get those juices flowing, man. It gave us a lot of time. That's what I'm appreciative of, the time
Yes.
most of all,
Yes.
because what is the number one thing we complain about? We don't got time to do stuff. We don't got
Exactly.
time for nothing. But hey, everybody, we all got those 2 months or whatever it was to just sit at home and just think of things to do to make yourself better. And I'm glad to see
Yes.
people like you that came out on top and use that time to their advantage for sure. Um,
Definitely.
the other songs that I heard from you are My Life, which I love, Nitty
Mhm.
Gritty, which I love as well too, that you're on. Both of those, I feel like you're gonna take this as a compliment. Your vibe that I get when you rap, I get like a mixture of Queen Latifah and like MC Light. That's what I get when I hear you rap. Those two like intertwine. If they had a kid, that would be you to me.
There's
That's what I
nothing bad
feel.
about that. I received that. I
Definitely.
received that. I can't wait, because when I tell you like the list of names people always hitting me with, like, I
Uh,
can't complain about nothing, man. And then, but what I just smile on the inside, because I know, like, when my album drops, I'm going so, like, I'm twisting that so far on its head, like,
uh,
that people are gonna be like, but I thought she was doing the Queen Latifah thing, but like
yeah,
but it's still dope as fuck. So I'm so happy that I could be laying that foundation down as like solid bars, solid stories, solid delivery. Like,
yeah,
we're doing what we're supposed to be doing with these songs, you know what I'm saying? But we're also elevating it to another level, and like giving people something new, like with hip hop
yeah.
and with artistry in general, because like, come on, hip hop is not even that old, but we've already started repeating ourselves in a lot. I mean, we can
Facts.
relate that to wrestling in a lot of ways
Yeah,
too. Um, but when something fresh comes on the scene, it's not even just about that person. It's about like giving our lives something fresh that we need. So that's what I'm really working on, energy wise.
yeah, definitely. Now, as humans in general, we have to label things. We got to categorize everything. That's just what we do as humans. So for
Talk
you,
to me.
what do you consider like your genre? I mean, because I don't know if I consider you just like, clear cut, just hip hop. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
Mm.
there's vibes of different genres just put together. Like what do you consider like your genre to be? Or do you even have a genre? How about that?
I wish I would have memorized that shit that I told somebody. I told somebody some crazy shit. Um, I consider it. I definitely have boom bap and hip hop as the foundation. Like at the core, I started out as a writer, as a poet, and just drums and vocals. That's where it all stemmed from. So that's definitely at the foundation. However, yeah, it gets into like hip hop soul, and then it gets into like Afrofuturistic, militant lyricism type of things, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'm messing with some African rhythm, so it's Afrobeat, but it's a little more tribal, and then it's reggae and dancehall, but it's still got an earthy thing about it. And then I love R&B. I grew up on a lot of R&B and soul music, so that gets into it. So I don't know, bro. It's we're gonna have to come up with a new name. I'm gonna just be on mad playlists, which I don't have a problem with. But
Yeah,
yeah, even on the album, it's like mad spread. Go ahead.
definitely. No, you gotta start your own lane. I definitely appreciate that, and I love when you say like stuff like that when it's like I just gotta create my own thing because that means you're being true to yourself. So I
Mm,
like that. Like you're not trying to fall into like, hey, this is what I am. I like that about you, and I love you could definitely sense the vibes off of people when they're just being true to who they are. They're not trying to be something that they're not, and that's when things work for people the most. And like
mm,
that's when it starts to hit. When that's what you can
mm.
tell. Like that music, it just talk to your soul because
I
that
feel
person is
that.
is being true to themselves for sure.
I received that, DG. Thank you. That was a bless. That was you blessed my heart with that. Thank you.
Definitely
Yes.
big facts. So let's say like little girl from Uganda. What makes you want to get into music and try to make this a career? What is it for you?
Yo, it's so hilarious to think of myself as a little girl. First of all, I left Uganda when I was 2 years old. So I was a
Hmm.
little girl.
Yeah,
Didn't know nothing about no hip hop. No hip hop was played in my house. Didn't have a DJ, nothing. No sniff of it. But then we touched down in New York City. The first
hmm,
place we step off the plane, we step off however we got to the neighborhood we got to, and we step into Harlem in
yeah,
early 90s.
yeah,
Early 90s Harlem. There's graffiti everywhere. It's people all over the street. It's boom boxes. It's ciphers on every other corner. It's what I'm saying, and all types of music too, because the whole melting pot thing. So all types of cultural things are coming at you, and then radio, like the way radio was super important. Like radio's a blast, and then um it was like my version of Disney World is like, street crime, hip hop, graffiti everywhere, and like little latchkey kids watching Disney movies in the house. And I was just amazed at the energy. I couldn't put a finger on it, but I was really taken by the energy. So I just kept the notebook with me all the time, and just I was always doing something, grabbing a bunch of stuff and trying to, I call them, what did I call them, inventions. I would tell my mama, but what are you doing? I'd be like, I'm trying to invent something. um but it wasn't until I was in elementary school and I was with a group of guys, and they were like, we were all like a little crew, and then they started doing ciphers out of nowhere.
yeah,
And I saw this one day and I was like, yo, what are they doing? And then I kind of like made my way through, and I was like, oh shit, they do, I didn't know what to call it, but I was like, they are doing this right now, this
yeah,
is happening. And
yeah,
then I was like, yo, I could do this. yo just jump in. And I jumped in, and like 2 bars, and everybody was like, oh, and I was like addicted. I was
yeah,
addicted from then on. And then they were like, yo, because there was no other girls at the time where I was, there was no other girls doing that. And then that wanted to continue doing it, and doing it at a level where now we're meeting up during school and after school to write rhymes. Like that was a new thing. So I just fell in love with it, and the whole construct your world energy
yeah.
of hip hop. I love that. So yeah.
Definitely. Who would you say like during that time when you were younger, like who do you think like you drew influence from, or like who were some of those artists that you were listening to that that you were vibing to that helped create who you are today?
Hmm. Let's see. Um. Let's see. The first thing that popped into my head was the DMX Jay Z. That came a little later, but the DMX Jay
Yeah,
Z, like it was never an official feud, but the fact that those two were going back and forth and having ciphers while having like massive hits and
yeah,
massive followings, and just the raw energy around them, I was super inspired by that. Rakim, because I remember that was when Rap City, BET's Rap City was still on
Yeah.
TV, and I could catch a little whiff of that. So I remember like Rakim videos coming on, and I didn't really know who he was. I was like, I was a little too young to catch his like prime. But
Hmm.
like the lyrics as a poet, I was just like, damn, this guy's a writer. Like he's a very scientific and heartfelt writer, and I really appreciated that. Battle rappers, definitely, on the street in Harlem, especially the actual place where the original Smack DVDs that used to be, and now they weren't even DVDs, they were tapes, I think. But whatever Smack was coming out with back like in the day, back in the day, we're like 15. Back in the day, they were filming them in some of the like local shops in
Yeah.
Harlem. So I will
Hmm.
be walking by these places not even knowing that it was happening, or I would see them being sold and stuff, and then that's what kind of hit, like I was like basically just hooked by the air of like, yo, battle rap is going on, and now that whole world is like super crazy to me. I haven't dived into it yet. I wouldn't mind diving into it. I actually got offers to do it, I just never did it.
Oh
But
man.
battle rap had a huge impact on me, as far as like, okay, you're poetic with it, but let's turn that aggressive notch up, and
Hmm.
see what you could do in real time, and like take the creativity and spin it on its head, and like, what I'm saying, be a weapon, use it as a weapon, like just vocal. I thought that shit was amazing. So yeah, that oh, there's so many, bro. I'm like,
I
I
can imagine.
soak in so much. Even still to this day, every day I'm Googling something about something. I'm reading blogs and articles, and like I'm just that kind of kid. So yeah, I hope I did justice to them. I didn't say any women, did I? Damn, I did
Nah, the
not.
women. Who the women? You got rep for the
Yeah,
women.
I
Who the
got.
women?
Thank you. Of course, Lauren Hill. I just posted
Yeah.
something with the Lauren Hill quote. Of course, Lauren Hill, and the Fugees, really, because at the time it was Fugees. So, she was just coming through. She was cutting through so clear with what
Hmm.
she was doing. And she was spitting like before her
Yeah.
first album came out. She was really spitting, and when she would do live shows, she was like doing the shit live, and I really
Hmm.
appreciated that. I actually really loved Lady of Rage. I feel like people don't give her enough credit,
Yeah.
but she had a like real funky style, just like Snoop. But she actually was spitting rhymes, and I believe she was from Virginia, or I can't remember which one, but I think she's from the East Coast originally. So, not to say that only people on the East Coast are lyrical, because there's actually tons of lyrical people on the West Coast, and I can move that into Yo Yo. Really appreciated everything she
Hmm.
stood for. She was the perfect like hood girl, ghetto chic with intelligence, and like not like I'm a woman, I'm a real woman, I'm queen about it, and I'm gonna be heard and listened to. And then just like you said, MC Light, and then the women on the battle scene, Roxanne Shante, uh of course, when it got like Remy came on the scene, yo, I was such a Remy head, and
Yeah.
I didn't even. You couldn't have told me she was gonna get locked up and not be around. I was ready for Remy to take on the world, like just of what she was doing in the streets. Like,
Hmm.
yo, she had it. When Nikki came on the scene, smashed it. Like, it's just a shame. The only shame is that nobody else was out. Like, it's
Yeah.
beautiful to see. Like, for me, I feel like it's beautiful to see how Nikki like took that lane and ran with it.
Right.
Because I really appreciate Kim and what she did, and Foxy with the bars, Foxy. Um, but like I just wish more women were out when Nikki was out, so we could, it would be a strong front, like
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
women in hip hop. But yeah.
Yeah. No, that definitely. Something funny about Foxy Brown. Foxy Brown was actually a cousin to a friend of mine when I was in elementary. So
Oh, word.
when I graduated from eighth grade, I graduated from middle school going into high school. Foxy Brown was at our middle school graduation. So
Oh
and
my god,
and this is
yeah.
like what? When did I graduated like 2001 from eighth grade. So this is like,
It's insane.
dope. You're like, yo, Foxy Brown, like that's crazy. So I always think
That's
about that.
cute.
Yeah,
That's
Foxy was
dope.
always dope. Um, you
Did she
said
look regular, or was she like?
yeah, yeah, no, she was good. She was good. She was still Foxy. She pulled up
So,
in a Mercedes, hopped out of the back of a Mercedes.
okay, okay. With a
You know,
green,
she's
pink, purple
stunting.
fur.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's stunting. She was stunting.
Talk to
That definitely that was big. I always love Foxy. You were talking about battle rap. Do you still keep up with it? Like, do you still get to watch it from time to time?
not up to date as they drop, but I'm
Yeah.
still checking in and I'm doing a lot of catching up on oldies from favorites that I didn't get to watch. But yeah, I'm still into it.
Yeah, no, battle rap. I kind of like I kind of got my. I think that's probably what kind of helped me push this too, is that
Interesting.
quarantine. Like the first thing I did when we were staying at home, like I binged like battle rap. I'm talking about like
Okay.
everything. URL. I learned like all the new
Yo.
dudes that are out and everything, and I'm like, yo, it's just I got that. You forget like how great it is and the creativity they have to put into it. Like
Yes.
it's literally, and just how I have my love for wrestling, it's literally the same thing. Creating the stories, doing promos for these battles, and
Yes.
then having to perform too when it's time to perform. Like, you know, making sure you don't choke, making sure you remember everything that you did with the pen. So that's kind of one of the things that
Yes.
helped me a lot. So I know you're talking about Smack. Smack has volume 6. I want to say it's next week. I think it's, or the 12th. It's December 12th. So
Wow. Okay, you're
so
gonna put
like,
me on to mad stuff when we done with this. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
fire. Cause yeah, I need to catch up.
I got you.
That's fire.
It's some dudes that are definitely spitting for sure. Um, so for you, what's your creative process like? Whether it's like, you decide like I'm making a beat, I'm making a song. Like, what is it for you? Is it just like, hey, you know what? I just want to make a song today, so let me just write something down and make a song, or is it like something's going on, you're feeling something, there's some type of energy? How is that specifically for you?
Usually, if it's me creating something for me, I see it first. I usually see a vision of
Mm.
something and I'm like, that's a strong idea. I better remember that. And let's hope I write it down or jot it down. Or I hear something. Um, Either way, I have a mental image of my head of like, in the end, this is what I'm seeing, if it makes sense. Like I see the feelings.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm starting to get too artsy now, but I always get a visual in my mind of something. And in terms of if it's other people, I always ask them like, oh, do you have a concept, or is there a feeling, or what's your intention with the song? And then I try to go from there. But a lot of times, especially lately, I've been surprised. People have just been like, nope, just do you. And I'm like, okay. But either way, from then I still construct, like even with Nitty Gritty, that's just a song of just straight bars. I
Yeah.
still construct for myself what the story is for those bars, even if it's just me rattling them off. And like you seen when I made the visual for Nitty Gritty, it was all women in wrestling, and that's kind of how
Yeah.
I went about it. Was like, it was just me walking to the ring, getting ready to do some dirty work, but lyrically.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then when it comes to the actual writing of the song, or video, because I edit, I direct and edit as well. So even maybe I'm doing a visual or making some media. Either way, I'm will likely be sitting at my notebook and just do a word bank and just vomit on the page, word vomit, everything that comes up, themes, colors, phrases, everything that comes out, and then just let that sit. And then either I start writing lyrics from there. Sometimes the lyrics will just start becoming from there, or I go and do some research on some of the things that I put down, and start constructing the big, like a wrestling match, the big
Yeah.
bullet points, beginning, middle, end, and then just fill in the rest.
That's dope. That's definitely dope. It's so crazy how intertwined both worlds are. Like you said
Yes.
with Nitty Gritty, when you dropped the visual for that on Instagram, that was like pretty dope with all the women wrestlers and the music in the background. I definitely like that a lot. And I always think of it like this: wrestling and hip hop the same way. Like it was a huge turn for women in both of them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like for
Yes.
like
Yes.
it's so crazy you think about it because it's like there's especially in wrestling like there's women that are main eventing shows like that never happened until
Right.
like recently to the women's show like yo we're just as good if not better than these men
Right.
and it's the
And they
same thing
dead
with
ass are.
yeah
It's not even
facts
like it's charity. It's like, yo, you're often more entertained, more wild. Not to there's a ton of really dope male masculine talent.
yeah
But yo, you're really watching these women handle these matches and they're telling stories in the ring. They got fire ass entrances, they got fire ass finishers, they're
yep
technicians or they're high flyers or their gear is fire or they can talk. If they can't talk, they got something else about them, or like, or you could
mm-hmm.
tell that they really trained, like they really want to be there. And it's just like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like we waited a long time for this, you know?
Yeah, no, it's definitely it's true, man, and just the talent is like just amazing. It's crazy. My favorite wrestler for women, my favorite women's wrestler is Asuka. I
Talk to
love
me.
Asuka, man.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yo.
Asuka is so lit, man. Yo, that you don't even know what
Yo.
she's saying. You don't know what she's saying, but she's so lit. I love her to death.
Yo, I love Asuka.
Who would
I
you
wanted
say
to be here for Halloween, Loki.
Yo, that would have been dope. That would have been dope.
I really wanted. I was like,
Who would you say is your favorite woman wrestler?
I gotta pick one.
You gotta pick one. I mean, I don't know. Give me all right. Who your favorites? I'll put an S on it. Who your favorites?
In active now.
Hey, whenever anybody that that draw to you. Who do you think?
Yo, man. Listen, okay, definitely Asuka. Bianca Belair,
Yeah,
Beast.
yeah.
Rhea Ripley, Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm so happy she's back. Ember Moon, love Ember.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome Kong. Wish I
Fire.
just wanted. I wish we could see so much more from her. Awesome Kong. Who's Thunder Rosa?
What?
She
Yes.
is, yo. She's like, when I look at her, and I've only seen a few matches so far, but when I look at her, you could tell like she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. Like this is her. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You could tell that whoever she was training with recognized that she low key is like a wrestling prodigy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It just comes so natural the way she moves in the ring, her timing. She's making other people look really good, and it's actually it makes you, and not to shit on nobody, but it makes other people look really shitty. Like she's so good, you're like,
Yeah.
damn. Now I see what's wrong with such and such. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Um,
Facts.
this is what they not doing. So yeah, Thunder Rosa. I was a huge China fan.
Yeah.
uh Attitude Era. I just thought everything was amazing, so amazing about her. And this stems off the like I showed in the video, the Wendy Richters and the women
Mm-hmm.
who were really doing it back then, but like actually wrestling and making it, not no shade, but really wrestling. I was called, hey, in there wrestling. So my inside joke, I did an open mic one time, and of course I get up there and I'm like, rap, and everybody else was doing like trap and like very lighthearted things. Not to say
Mm-hmm.
they're mutually intertwined, but and then I got off my set and everybody was like, yo, and like there was people clapped and everything like that, but everybody was like, yo, damn. And then the announcer, the host came on stage and he was like, damn, she rapping. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so now whenever I'm watching wrestling, and especially when I'm with my partner, and people are in there like really locking up and doing
Mm-hmm.
holds and counter holds, and you know what I'm saying, and really getting into it, I'm like, damn, they wrestling.
Yeah. Facts.
So a lot of these, when I look, a lot of my favorite, I'm like, yo, damn, she wrestling. So yeah, that's that. Oh, Shayna Baszler.
Oh yeah.
I feel like she's the female, not to say everybody has to be a counterpart, but I feel like she's the female version of Pete Dunne. That's
Oh,
how I
that's
see
dope.
it from the
Yeah, I
UK,
can see that. I can see that.
the and stuff. Just very hard nosed, and I'm really happy that she finally got a belt, damn, on the main roster, and that she
Mm-hmm.
gets more action. Um, Yeah, we could be here all day, bro. So just stop me at any time. Stop me at
you
any
gotta,
time.
you gotta just say the whole roster, the whole roster.
Right. No, not everybody, not everybody, not everybody. But no, yeah, but yeah, so much dope talent. Io Shirai is so amazing. I
What?
can't wait to
Yeah,
see more of what she does.
she's fire. She's dope.
I really love seeing her in what's the name in NXT. I can't wait to see more of him too. Big tall rock star used to
Uh,
be named Rodriguez. Punishment something.
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest,
Yeah,
Poppy. I call
yeah,
him Poppy.
yeah.
Bobby from down the block. When they kind of made them partner up and we're doing this like rock stars of NXT thing, it was super quick. But I was like, yo, I could really get used to this.
Mm-hmm.
But I love, yo, he is a star, and it's so nice to see like stars again. You know, I feel like we was missing a little bit of that coming out of the last era because we got so many like regular people just wrestling. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just a thing about like that's what made wrestling so special in the first place was the star power of it all on top of it being like actual sport, you know what I'm saying? It was the
Yeah,
star power, so appreciate that.
yeah, definitely. All right, when you dropped that visual for Nitty Gritty on Instagram, you wrote, "What should your wrestling name be?" So I don't know if you thought about this, but if you had to settle, like, what would you think your wrestling name would be? You still go
Man,
with
I need
Emily?
my audience to step up. They keep giving me these names. They're like Medusa. I'm like, come on, guys, we could do better than
Medusa.
this.
Oh
I
man, come on, come on.
appreciate y'all, but come on. You know, it's crazy because at first, when I thought I have this running joke about I'm going to wrestling school and it's not gonna be a joke no more. It's gonna happen one day, I'm telling you.
Uh-huh.
But when I first was like, I could really do it. And you know what I would do? I was gonna do a gimmick off of me being from Uganda.
Uh-huh.
And the like a lot of people when they meet me and they find out I'm from Uganda, the first thing they always say is Idi Amin, right? Which is
Yeah.
like horrible because for those who don't know, Idi Amin was like a very historic but very ruthless leader, some will call say dictator at a time, and very
Yeah.
violent, super violent. A lot of blood was shed during his reign. But it wasn't necessarily a great time in the country's history, so it's a little bit of a sensitive topic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I was like, you know, the way sensitive topics so called are handled in wrestling, as we've had like, you know, the whole Russian like Cold War thing in the 80s. And you know,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what if I would be like Idi Amina, and it was like I was the daughter of the ruthless dictator, and you
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm in this country and I have all this, you know what I'm saying, this big chip on my shoulder, and I'm dark skinned and I won't be denied, and you know, this whole
Yeah.
thing. And so I had that. But then I was like, you know what? Before I go spreading that around, let me go check how they feeling. You know, how people in the country's would feel about that. And you know, specifically my father. I was like, yo, let me ask my father what he thinks about that. And because in my family we've had a lot of violent things happen, so I was like, you know, let me not be like, you know, just out here wilding just for a character, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's so yeah. So there was that. I haven't had it nailed down, bro. I'm still fishing, you know, and this has to happen because between you and me, I'm not gonna. I haven't told everybody this, but me being where I am now, as I told you, I've temporarily left New York, and I'm on the hunt right now for wrestling schools, to film an upcoming video. So
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna be in the ring, you know, working some things out, and I gotta have a name by the time I come out with that. I gotta have a name.
I hear
So
you.
maybe you
You
can
got to
help
get
me
on
out.
that.
Maybe your viewers in the comments, maybe y'all can help me out. You know what I'm saying? Give me some, you know. I gave y'all a bunch of things. I'm militant, I'm soulful, the hip hop thing, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
rapper, you know, the natural hair, you know, give me, oh, that reminds me, Naomi. I didn't shout out Naomi. Naomi,
Yeah.
hashtag Naomi deserves better. Like super, super true. She super does. But yeah, I don't want a regular name. I want, like, you know what I'm saying? We
Got you.
just celebrated the Undertaker, you know what I'm saying? Let's have high standards out this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Let's have
Facts.
characters again, you know what I mean? My
Yeah,
rap name is Emily, so we gotta give me, another shade, you know?
got you. All right. Hopefully the people can get that out for you and they can help you out with that for sure.
Come on, King.
Um, let's see. Do you consider yourself? This is for me. This is a weird word, a weird adjective.
Okay.
Do you consider yourself a role model to continue the trend of women going higher, succeeding more, especially as a Black woman, going farther, succeeding more? For me, role model is like, it's such a tough word. I feel like anybody could probably be a role model to you. There's people who look at me and this as a role model, and I'm just like,
Right.
you know what I mean? I'm a normal person. I'm a role model to my kids. I would say that. You know what I mean? I
Oh,
try to show them what's right. But do you consider yourself a role model, and do you feel a responsibility of having to continue that trend of making women better than what they previously are?
mhm. I feel that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, sorry. I feel like it really doesn't matter whether you consider yourself one or not.
Uh-huh.
As soon as you're in a position of being greater in life than where you were, you are. Like the
True.
minute you're at a level above a bunch of other people, just by being farther along in your journey, you are automatically an example in life. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean all eyes are on you. It doesn't mean you have to go sign up in the Big Brother Big Sister program. That's not what it means, but you can't deny the fact that people are looking at you. Kids are looking at you. Other women or other men or other young people are looking at you, be they from your neighborhood or from completely other neighborhoods. It's people who are very well off, rich, educated, really don't need anything in life, that are looking up to us because we're pursuing our sole purpose and our spirit mission, and we're actually, using our gifts, which is a very vulnerable thing. You got to be very brave to put yourself out there creatively and express what's on your heart and mind. It's a very brave thing that everybody doesn't do in life. Some people go their entire lives without doing that.
True.
So, as far as women, in general, especially with something like hip hop, where we're talking about, we're not even 50 years old as a culture, and we've influenced the entire world.
Yeah.
And the way that we've been able to continue is by continuously evolving. So I feel like with all the things that were done before us in hip hop, and also before us, all the things that made up all the elements of hip hop, who am I to come along and not evolve it? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
Yeah.
mean, me personally, that's how I feel. I feel like if I'm here and I'm rhyming, I gotta be rhyming to the best of my ability, or to the truest of my expression. This is what I'm really here to rap about, and who I really am, or who I really want to put forward, and be super creative and be, really do it. Because, if I go half-ass, what am I saying about how I feel about this culture, about the
Sure.
opportunity to participate in it? That's how I
Mhm.
feel. So by default, I feel that, hell yeah, I'm, whatever I do, like Nipsey Hussle say, you drop a rope, like whatever doors open up for me, that's doors opening up for everybody coming after me, whether I
Right.
plan like that or not. And I'm personally, I'm not the type of person to want to keep people disconnected and cut off. I feel like that we don't prosper like that as a whole. So yeah, I'm all about construction.
Yeah, you just talked to my soul on that one, man. That
Yeah,
that,
thank
that,
you.
that was a great answer. I love that answer for sure. I never thought about it like that, but I definitely that was definitely a good answer. So let's say like we're comparing wrestling, we're comparing hip hop. So in,
Yeah.
in in the wrestling world, we've seen that things have changed like tremendously. So now I feel like people aren't necessarily it's not necessarily their goal to get signed by WWE, to go to the big companies. There's other
Right.
options out there where you still could, you know, technically be with somebody and still be independent and, you know, do what you want. And hip hop as well, you kind of see that trend as well. I feel like
That's so true.
people aren't really looking at like, hey, I got to sign to a label to, you know, make it or be big. Like there's a lot of independent artists out there that, you know, they're using the internet, they're using that social media, free advertising, all that to build their brand. For you, is it a goal for you to be like, hey, I have to be signed to a label, or is it just, you know, you're just doing your thing and you're just, you know, working on, you know, being an independent artist?
My goal, my number one goal is to always have creative control and the
Mm-hmm.
ability to say, no, I will not put my name and face and likeness behind that. Like the minute you give that up, you you're not you anymore. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're basically a trademark that anybody controls. So
Mm-hmm.
independence in that frame of mind, that's always my number one goal. With that said, I've always been attracted to entrepreneurship, commerce. Capitalism doesn't work as a straight fluid center be all end all,
Yeah.
but as far as commerce and um establishments and small businesses becoming big businesses, and you know the fact that anybody can start something and become, you know, something greater and employ other people, I love that idea. So for
Yeah.
me, I love the I love the Nipsey Hustle model, to say his name once again, rest in love. I love the Nipsey Hustle model of things where you maximize your value and your output and your creativity as an independent artist and build yourself to the point where you are now valuable as a partner to labels. Now you're not signing ownership, you're not signing away any ownership, you're not signing it away any control. You're actually signing partnership deals with these big,
Yeah.
you know, the big labels. That's something I do like. I definitely welcome in my experience, like to be a partner with the big labels and big corporates. I have no problem with that, because if we can do things to scale that I can't do by myself, that are, you know, forthright and true and accurate and about the build, you know, in
Mm-hmm.
essence, I have no problem partnering, you know, or being in conjunction with a big label. Absolutely not. But but I'm gonna be me, and we're gonna do
Yeah.
the right things. We're gonna do good business, you know, fair contracts, and you know what I'm saying. You know, just do it right. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, definitely a good mindset to have. You know, going into something you want to be your career for sure. If you weren't making music, what would you be doing?
I guess
I
we'd
know.
have to nix out all the creative stuff, because I'd be filming, editing, um consulting people creatively, being a
Uh,
songwriter. But if I wasn't doing nothing, a visual artist, you know, if I wasn't doing nothing like in the creative realm, yeah, I would have likely been an athlete. We should take out dancer too, because I was on a dance path when I was younger. But yo, I wouldn't be surprised if I would have ended up a wrestler, because yo, when I say
yeah.
I was a fan, like, son, I was just watching Survivor Series from last year before we got on, and
Mm-hmm.
then I was thinking about I was like, damn, what if he asked me what my favorite Undertaker match is? Shit, I better do some research real quick. But when I was looking those up, I started really thinking about like where I was in those times and like how deep I was in it, and I thought
Mm-hmm.
about the Undertaker and Mankind Hell in a Cell match, which was like super eye opening for me. But around that time, it's like Mick Foley was dropping books. I was buying the books and I was reading, and I had to be in like sixth grade. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be doing homework and stuff like that. I'm reading wrestling books. I
Oh
have
man.
like a life-size China calendar in my room. Like, I'm begging
That
my
is dope.
father to take us to the WWF restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Where I
Mm-hmm.
did actually meet Shawn Michaels, and that was a highlight of my life right there. He was actually very nice. Um, but yeah, I was so into wrestling. I played football, tackle football when I was younger, and then I
Oh
coached it for
man.
a little while. Yeah. I dabbled in boxing for a while. I almost wanted to go that route professionally, but I at the time I had dropped out of school and they wasn't trying to rock with that. And I see the wisdom in that. I appreciate that because my life would have been completely different. So yeah, I might have been an athlete. I would have gone into very intellectual stuff. Probably would have been a writer, writing about culture and life. And I do a lot of homework on life and the human experience. So probably that.
Dope, dope. Oh man, that would have been interesting to see, man. I could only imagine. I still would have had you on the show. See, you would have been a wrestler.
Yeah.
I still would have
Word.
been talking to
Word.
you.
Still a lot of
um,
life to live, DG. I'll be back.
Facts, big facts on that. Um, okay, so in a world that's, we keep comparing wrestling, we keep comparing hip hop. In a world that's saturated with so many people in it. So there's so many wrestlers out there. There's so many artists out
Yeah.
there. There's new ones being created
Yeah.
today. There's some people that need to give it
Yeah.
up that have been doing this since elementary that need to stop, but they won't. So, how do you personally separate yourself from the pack and stand out creatively?
Yeah, it's interesting because I noticed that I was simultaneously my unhappiest and also not standing out when I was trying to do what everybody was doing and just trying to become another artist who was dope in what I do, but creatively and artistically doing what I thought people wanted me to do and
Yeah,
oh, I look like this, so I should come on the scene doing this, and trap is hot, so let's do this with the trap and blah blah blah. And um what's going to help me and what is already helping me stand out is honestly really being true to myself and the ideas that I've always had, because I'll be honest, there's some things that I have in my head that I still haven't seen done. Like there's things in hip hop that still haven't been done, or should we say like even though there's nothing original new under the sun, everything that is new and original is a composite of pieces that haven't been put together before. And
yeah,
my life is a life of pieces that have largely never been put together before in one person. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like to express that through rhyme, through movement, through entertainment, through media, through sick visuals, through poetry, through character work, and even down to style and the way we wear our hair and the things we put on walls, and how we express our branding. I feel there's things that we still haven't seen that I have to give, and connecting a lot of dots that we're missing and that will help us right now as people, and also to just feel better in our daily lives and everything we want to do. So yeah, when you're true to yourself, like there's only one you. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? That's why it works out. And also, like, I'm never boring about it. I hate people who are like, conscious rap has to be like this, or
yeah,
lyrical, so it has to be super dense and fake woke, and you know what I'm saying? Or street rap has to be like this, or sexy rap has to be like this. Like, no, it doesn't. It could be whatever. Like, I grew up in the streets. Like, I have stories about adventures with street people that as a conscious rapper I'm not supposed to tell these stories. But
yeah,
look at a rapper like Kendrick. We have a whole other character that came through the doors, based on his actual life, driven artistically.
yeah,
Imagine all the girls that have grown up who are not Megans or Nickies or Erica Badu's or Lawrence, but have ill stories, have ill adventures, have ill mindsets and imaginations. I'm one of those girls, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I
yeah.
gotta.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel you on that. And definitely for you, man, the future is definitely bright. I see a lot of great things coming your way.
Thank you.
If fans want to keep up with you, they want to keep up with your music, any of your visuals, how would they connect with you on social media? How would they follow you?
All right, y'all could these people who are interested in me in any form of fashion can type in Amelia is Emily. That is Emilia is Emma Lee, like Bruce Lee. And that is me on Instagram. On Twitter is Amelia is Emma. It's shorter, but everywhere else it's Amelia is Emily. And also my link tree is usually the link in all my bios. And you click that one link, and I have like a whole list. It's organized and it looks dope. So don't worry, you won't be bombarded. But I have a whole list of things, from YouTube clips to press to see what's going on with me in hip hop, to videos I made that I directed and edited, to features and music that's out, and also to some of the more artistic and creative things I've done. I started doing book reviews, and
Nice.
yeah, I started doing a bunch of things in the community, and then doing spin-offs of hip hop classics and connecting with some hip hop legends, and of course just spitting bars and making dope shit. So yeah, it's all there.
Definitely. Dope, dope, dope. Yeah, definitely. Make sure you give a follow, check out the music. Emma, you're a dope artist, just a dope person in general, dope vibes. I definitely appreciate you taking the time out, coming
Thank you.
on, vibing with me, giving some good answers, man. I
Thank
enjoyed this a
you.
lot, man. I can't wait to see what happens for you in the future and to have you back on as a guest.
Yes, definitely gonna hit you back up after I do the whole video shoot in the wrestling school joint.
Yeah,
We'll see if I'm scarred up from taking my first bumps. You
yeah.
understand? Running the
Can't wait to
ropes.
see that.
Oh my God. We gotta get some behind the scenes footage of that too, because I know I'm gonna look nah, I feel like I'm gonna kill it though. You know what I'm saying? I have an idea what it looks like, you know what I'm saying, to run the ropes and all that. And I'm out rhythm, you know what I'm saying? So but yeah, I can't wait to hit you with that and the single that's gonna come out with that. You're gonna flip over. You like nitty gritty, you're gonna flip over this because I weaved in I weaved in Mean Gene, CM Punk. Like I did
Nice,
some
nice.
interesting things. So dope.
Definitely. That's definitely fire. I can't wait to see all of that, and just to see your growth as well.
Thank you.
If anybody, for us, you want to make sure you subscribe to this page. Make sure you
Yes.
follow Rap and Wrestle on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Make sure you check us out iTunes, check us out on YouTube,
Oh, bet.
wherever you listen at. Make sure you follow, subscribe, review, retweet, do all that good stuff. This was a great episode. It's Derrick, it's Emily MC, and we are out.